Hey everyone, welcome back to Warren's Everyday English. Do you know what special day comes in October? That's right, it's Halloween. In this episode, let's find out what's going to happen to Greg and Rowley on Halloween. Well, it's finally October, and there are only 30 days left until Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday, even though Mom says I'm getting too old to go trick-or-treating anymore. Halloween is Dad's favorite holiday too, but for a different reason. On Halloween night, while all the other parents are handing out candy, Dad is hiding in the bushes with a big trash can full of water. And if any teenagers pass by our driveway, he drenches them. I'm not sure Dad really understands the concept of Halloween, but I'm not going to be the one who spoils his fun. Tonight was the opening night of the Crossland High School haunted house, and I got Mom to agree to take me and Rowley. Rowley showed up at my house wearing his Halloween costume from last year. When I called him earlier, I told him to just wear regular clothes, but of course he didn't listen. I try not to let it bother me too much though. I've never been allowed to go to the Crossland haunted house before, and I wasn't going to let Rowley ruin it for me. Roderick has told me all about it, and I've been looking forward to this for about 3 years. Anyway, when we got to the entrance, I started having second thoughts about going in. But Mom seemed like she was in a hurry to get this over with, and she moved us along. Once we were through the gate, it was one scare after another. There were vampires jumping out at you, and people without heads and all sorts of crazy stuff. But the worst part was this area called Chainsaw Alley. There was this big guy in a hockey mask, and he had a real chainsaw. Roderick told me the chainsaw has a rubber blade, but I wasn't taking any chances. Right when it looked like the chainsaw guy was going to catch us, Mom stepped in and bailed us out. Mom made the chainsaw guy show us where the exit was, and that was the end of our haunted house experience right there. I guess it was a little embarrassing when Mom did that, but I'm willing to let it go this one time. So let's go over the phrases and expressions that we just read through. To. The phrase to plus adjective or adverb plus to is used to express a situation where something is so extreme or intense that it prevents a certain action or possibility. So when you say too tired to continue, you mean that someone is extremely exhausted to the point that they can't keep doing whatever activity they were engaged in. And too dark to see means that the darkness has become so intense that visibility is greatly reduced or eliminated. So in the story where it states, Mom says I'm getting too old to go trick-or-treating anymore, the expression too old to indicates that Greg's age has reached a point where participating in the activity of trick-or-treating is no longer considered appropriate. Handout. So a handout means to distribute or give something to people. On Halloween night, all the other parents are handing out candy except Greg's dad. Pass by. In this context, pass by means to go past or walk past something without stopping. So for instance, we often pass by that bakery on our way to work. Drench. To drench means to soak something completely with liquid, usually water. So in this context, it means that if any teenagers walk past Greg's driveway, Greg's dad pours water on them, completely soaking them. The intention here seems to be a playful or mischievous one, possibly as a way to surprise or prank the passing teenagers on Halloween. Spoil something. The phrase spoil his fun refers to preventing or ruining someone's enjoyment or amusement. In the story, Greg's dad has an unconventional Halloween tradition of drenching passing teenagers. Despite Greg's uncertainty about his dad's understanding of Halloween, he chooses not to spoil his enjoyment. Get someone to do something is a phrase that means to persuade, convince, or successfully encourage someone to perform a certain action or task. So Greg persuaded his mom to take him and Rowley to the Crossland High School haunted house. Show up. When someone shows up, it means they arrive or appear at a particular place. So you can say, I hope my friends show up to my birthday party. Tell someone to do something. This means to give someone instructions or directions regarding a particular action or task. Greg called Rowley earlier and instructed him to wear regular clothes, but Rowley didn't pay attention to the guidance given by Greg. Though. As an adverb, though is used to introduce a contrast within a sentence. It's often placed at the end of a sentence and indicates that the information presented in the sentence contrasts with the preceding information. So for example, Jane's dad says, "I wish Jane would spend less time drawing and more time studying." However, Jane's mom says, "She's really talented though." Another example is, "It was a difficult journey, but worth it though." In both cases, though is used to introduce a contrasting thought that adds complexity to the statement. It's similar to however or nevertheless, and is used to emphasize a point of difference or contrast. Look forward to. So in this context, Greg is talking about his excitement regarding going to the Crossland haunted house. The phrase look forward to means to have a positive feeling of anticipation and excitement for something that will happen in the future. Get to. In this story, it is used with the meaning of arrived at or reached, and we learned a different meaning of get to in the previous video, which you can see right here. So for example, when we get to the movie theater, I'll drop you off at the ticket booth so you can purchase the tickets while I park the car. So the sentence is saying that when they arrived at the entrance of the Crossland haunted house, Greg began to have doubts about going inside. Start having second thoughts about something. This phrase means to begin to doubt or reconsider a decision or plan that was previously made. I guess Greg began to feel hesitant or uncertain about entering the haunted house because he suddenly got scared. In a hurry. The phrase in a hurry means to be in a rush or to be moving quickly due to limited time or a sense of urgency. Get something over with. So this means to complete or finish a task, activity, or situation that a person might not necessarily want to do. It often implies a sense of relief or a desire to move past something that might be unpleasant or undesirable. In the context of the passage, Mom seemed like she was in a hurry to get this over with, suggests that Mom wanted to quickly finish going through the haunted house experience because she might not have been enjoying the haunted house, or perhaps she was finding it frightening or uncomfortable. Move someone along. The phrase move us along means to guide or encourage someone to continue to the next part of an activity or location. So in the story, Mom likely directed them forward through the haunted house to speed up the experience and finish it efficiently. One thing after another. One thing after another means that events or experiences are happening rapidly and successively, without much pause or interruption. So in the passage, once we were through the gate, it was one scare after another, indicates that immediately after passing through the gate of the haunted house, Greg encountered a series of frightening or intense experiences without much break in between. You can use the phrase in the sentence like this: "It's been a busy day with one meeting after another." Not take any chances. To not take any chances means to avoid risks or situations that might lead to a negative outcome. Greg didn't want to take any risks because he saw a big guy with a real chainsaw. Even though his brother Roderick said the chainsaw had a rubber blade, Greg didn't want to believe it completely. He wanted to be safe, so he stayed cautious and didn't get too close to the chainsaw guy. Step in. So this means to intervene or become involved in a situation, often to help or take control. So Mom stepped in because it seemed like the chainsaw guy was about to catch or frighten them. She intervened to help them out of a potentially scary situation. Bail someone out. This phrase means to help someone out of a difficult or troublesome situation. So Mom rescued them from a situation that might have been frightening or uncomfortable. Let something go. So when you use let it go, it means that you won't hold on to any negative feelings or thoughts about what happened. So when Greg said, "But I'm willing to let it go this one time," Greg is prepared to forgive, forget, or not dwell on the embarrassing situation that happened with his mom's intervention in the haunted house. So that covers the haunted house experience Greg and Rowley had. We'll continue going over additional Diary of a Wimpy Kid expressions in another video. I recommend listening to the story again to see how your understanding has changed. Keep watching or listening to this video to further enhance your listening comprehension skills. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.